14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly laga 5th session the Chief Minister Nipiriora discussion on matters of urgent public importance under Rule 50 laga conversation join kurigina Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act 1989 opor kotha kurishe. Rioba janaise ki act enact kurado social issues, domestic violence, health issues, drunken driving aro public disorders address kurubole karne thakishe. Rioba kushe ki act thagigina 34 years huishe aro act laga impact to sob manobra dikhigina ase. Rioba kushe ki Pradesh Sarkar ba mutu laga sale aro flow upper regulate aro restrict kurubole paribo hoile bi individuals khan mutu consume kurado prohibit kurubole na paribo kintu personal choice ase. Rioba kushe ki prohibition policy laga itia saishe kule rural areas te policy to effective thakishe hoile bi urban areas te failure thagado dikhibole paise. Rioba NLTB upper ki koi details pa saisabo.
And this topic, health hazard of spurious liquor in our state, and the evil effects, will have further discussion in this house and outside the house with public leaders and various organizations. As the Nagaland Total Liquor Prohibition Act has been enacted in the state in the year 1989 with the intention of addressing social issues related to alcohol abuse, such as domestic violence, health problems, drunken driving and public disorders. The Act envisaged that reducing alcohol consumption will in turn lower rates of alcohol-related diseases, thereby improving overall community health, among others. This policy was put in place in tune with the circumstances of that time. The statute has been in place for over 34 years, and the impact is there for all of us to see. Looking back, we cannot say that it has been successful, and there were various factors for which we will briefly touch upon. Historically and contemporarily, efforts to ban alcohol have been led to unintended and often detrimental consequences that highlight the challenges of enforcing such policies. The rise of black markets, increased criminal activities such as rise in syndicate suppliers, spurious and inferior quality, among many others, which the honorable members, many had expressed. It may be appreciated that the state government can only regulate and restrict sale and flow of liquor, but the government cannot arbitrarily prohibit individual from drinking, which is essentially a matter of personal choice and decision. Further, it is also a subject that is largely pivoted on the dynamics of demand and supply. As long as people drink, there is bound to be demand, and that follows naturally is the supply base on such demand. If we see the pictorial history of the prohibition policy, it has been observed that the policy had been largely effective in rural areas in the state. On the other hand, in the urban areas, we have witnessed a huge failure. The church has also been vocal on this matter, and we genuinely appreciate the apprehension of the church. In fact, all these years, the state government has been consulting with all sections of the society on important public matters such as these before taking any decision. We need a huge consultation of all stakeholders. The state government genuinely appreciates the gaps in the enforcement of the NLTP Act. Be that as it may, simply blaming the state government will not improve the situation. This needs a collective resolution and participation from every section of the community. Let us understand that the state agencies such as police or the excise department alone cannot address this challenge by themselves. This challenge can be effectively addressed only when cooperation is extended by all these sections, starting from the family, colony, wards, civil societies at large. If we really see few people have actually benefited out of this system since the business went underground and bootleggers stood out as the major beneficiaries. The benefit going to the wrong hands is a very dangerous thing for the society. The common citizens at large have suffered. There are several examples of our citizens suffering from various diseases owing to consumption of illicit liquor. It pained us to see many men and women lost their lives at a very young age on account of drinking spurious liquor. If we look around, many people of the society suffer from liver diseases or alcohol-related complications, essentially because they are accessible only to inferior and adulterated liquor. Regulation will allow for strict quality measures, reducing the incidence of health complications associated with unsafe alcohol consumption. Besides this, alcohol, as mentioned by subsidiaries, for easier and cheaper formula method, many become a drug addict and use drugs. There are so many kinds of drugs which can be transported or carried easily. And therefore, these stories and the issues which lies in our society is a concern not only of the martyrs or the church, but the whole society. We are fully concerned. So instead of pointing fingers at one another, this time we all come together and reason together so that we could collectively and resolutely address these problems. And make our society free from the hazard of spurious illicit liquor. And therefore, since Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition 1989 is in place, with everybody's support, only then government can activate and check particularly the spirits liquor, and also to control the bootleggers or the black marketers. We have to clean up. But first, we have to understand one another to enforce if we want to be successful.
Emporium Nagaland is India's leading aviation, hospitality and cruise line training institute with 100% job placement assistance in India and abroad. We provide customised workshops for various organisations and internship programme for college students. We aim to empower educated, unemployed youths with global opportunities.
We love Emporium!